Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy, man. So what's like the one term that we use whenever there's like a big trade going on? We use the term Woj bomb. That's because Adrian Woj has become just like the figure of big time moves when it comes to the game of basketball that we all know and love. Before today's video, we got a video by a channel called Heat Check, link to their channel in the description below, titled Exposing Wojnarowski. That's how you say his last name. I just call him Woj because words are hard. The dark secret of NBA's biggest insider. Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
We have a development in the ongoing melodrama with Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets.
At
Yeah,
2:30
every damn
p.m.
day is
Eastern
something
time
new.
On August 8th, Shams Charania posted a breaking news story about KD's ultimatum. So naturally, the entire sports media exploded, and they all wanted to get their takes out. That is, everyone except ESPN.
Yo, why didn't they say
The
nothing?
largest sports news outlet in the world. The ones that are always first in the never-ending story to share info. They didn't talk about it, nor mentioned it on their social media platforms for almost 6 hours.
Really?
Finally, at 8:23, a story comes out on ESPN.com with a suspiciously boring title. Joe Tsai voices support for the front office and coaches in the wake of Kevin Durant's trade demands. No ultimatum, no mention of Durant forcing the owner to pick between him and Sean Marks and Steve Nash, none of that. As if they don't even want you to see this info. Now, why would they do that? The answer
why?
to this question will
I'm
also
so
expose
intrigued.
just how much power Adrian Wojnarowski has at ESPN and some of his dark secrets of the way he operates.
Oh shit.
Buckle up for this.
Here we go,
one,
here we
fun.
go, here we go.
Everybody, my name is Stefan and this is Heat Check. Let's get into it.
Yo, you
To
got
understand-
bro, you got a basketball court in your house? Yo, that is badass. Oh, the light. Oh my god, that is badass. Oh my goodness. Wow, that is really cool. That is really cool.
To understand how Adrian single-handedly stopped the entire ESPN network from talking about breaking news for like half a day, I need to show you just how much power he's had for a long time. Woj earned the respect of the NBA world through his sharp columns, providing a different angle of things. But what made him a
man knows his
superstar
stuff.
is how he cultivated connections and relationships with agent and front office members. He would call and text them not just for inside scoops, but to genuinely ask how they're doing, family talks, all of that. This made a lot of people into his sources. Even early on,
Smart guy.
Wojnarowski noticed the San
Networking.
Antonio franchise as one that produces a ton of
Oh,
talent
it's not
that
too
move
loud
on
here.
to become coaches
think
or
it's good,
front
okay.
office members of teams around the league. So he focused on developing relationships with people around this organization. Just take a look at the Spurs mafia stemming from Pop. These are all high-profile people scattered at about a third of the teams in
Yo,
the
it's like,
league.
how do you...
Hey, there's Sean Marks. We'll get back to him later. This connection with the Spurs franchise, along with the relationships that Woj has with people signed to the same agency as him, which is the CAA, means that he has access
man's like
to
the real
virtually
commissioner.
any team in the league. The ones who consistently give him valuable info get a favorable treatment in his columns and tweets. The ones who ghost him, however, get blasted by Adrian. Just ask LeBron James. The King and his agent Rich Paul already had their guy in the media who they worked with and pushed their narrative through.
Which
a
is fair.
reporter who went to the same school as LeBron and followed him all throughout his Cleveland and Miami days. That reporter is Brian Windhorst.
So every attempt to get to James and his camp got rejected.
Adrian would
Yeah, he's got
then
his
go
guy
on
already.
a revenge tour, writing a ton of pieces throughout the years, criticizing LeBron for failing to deliver in the clutch, his ego and attitude during the
Yeah, that's if I'm being honest, that's kind of weak. That's really weak in the sense that, you know, if he's only roasting LeBron just because he ain't working directly with him, then at that point, are you really getting the truth of all his reports, you know? Or is he just like gonna say things how he wants to say things with the people that like him and like is best for his business? I don't know. What y'all think about that? It's
2004 Olympics, being soft,
like some
and
business
even
ethics
an
stuff right there.
all-star game performance. In 2007, James literally dragged this team all the way to the finals.
Great times.
To this day,
Love
one of
Sasha.
his greatest accomplishments. Despite clearly
Booby
being
Gibson.
overmatched, and despite LeBron's heroics during the entire season, Woj wrote this during the finals. "We're witnesses, alright. We are witnesses to the truth that James is trailing Dwayne Wade at the sport's best young superstar, a gap he didn't close in this finals.
Damn, Woj,
Then,
kind of an a-hole.
between 2008 and 2010, Woj wrote 10 columns about LeBron's free agency, mentioning different possibilities and teams based on no real information. Just look at this. In 08, he wrote that the Detroit Pistons were the favorites to get James.
Wait, yo, Woj. Pistons get Iverson now, LeBron later. Oh, damn. Oh. Sorry, man. Just entering my mind real quick here. I would have watched that team.
Get James at the end of his
I would've
contract,
watched that
which was
team.
2 years later. This was the most ridiculous statement, although he consistently had sloppy and uninformed takes about this. Just a week before the King chose Miami, Adrian wrote that the Chicago Bulls are still the team to beat, with Cleveland a close second.
Yeah,
and
so he
New
was
Jersey
clickbaiting
the
like
looming
everybody
wild
does.
card. This is without a doubt the most incorrect reporting on a consistent basis in his career. But let's get back to that Detroit Pistons
Yes,
text to
let's get
show
back to
you
it.
what happens when people do feed him some info. This entire piece is using James to add even more flashiness on the praises that Woj is sending towards Joe Dumars, the GM at the time. Despite the fact that the Allen Iverson trade was a disaster and Detroit transformed from a conference finals team to reaching the bottom of the East mainly due to a series of horrible decisions by Dumars,
just getting
Woj
back.
would never write a single word criticizing him. Instead, he chose words like slowly, surely, Dumars is regenerating the Pistons again. When this went live,
Hell
Detroit
no!
finished 39-43, and the season after they went 27-55. Then 30-52, 25-41, 29-53. You got
All right, we get it. Okay, I'm sorry. We got Cade now. And Ivy.
But if you only read Woj's columns, you'd think that Dumars was extremely successful when in fact he was fired in 2014. This preferential treatment from Adrian is thank you in a way
know,
for the countless league.
Joe Dumars is an interesting character because, I mean, he was the guy that put together the 2004 Pistons, you know, and took a bet on Rasheed Wallace. I don't know, like, but I very much recognize that Joe Dumars, he had a nice little stretch of just really making some good choices. And and even during those times of good choices, he made some piss poor ones too, you know, obviously like drafting Darko and stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like the players that came together, like, yeah, Joe Dumars gets credit for putting them together, but I really think it was the Pistons, you know, core five and everything that really dug deep and made things successful because of their hard work. And not saying Joe Dumars don't get some credit for that, but yeah, he definitely was not like the greatest when it came to like general managing and everything like that.
That Joe provided to him. We only know this because the NBA actually caught him. Too many league memos intended only for teams were getting leaked to the public. So the NBA did the sneakiest thing ever
Sting
to
operation.
find out who it was. In every memo that they sent out to teams, the NBA changed a few numbers, so when the info got out to the public, of course through Woj, the exact numbers that match his report were the ones in the memo that was sent to Dumars. So the NBA finally found out who leaked all the documents and fined Dumars $500,000.
I think I was drunk this
But
entire
I guess
time.
the relationship and the trust that he got with Adrian is worth much more than that.
And relationship and trust is exactly how it circles back to Sean Marks. A member of the San Antonio Mafia as well as CAA, his connection with Wojnarowski runs deep, and publishing a story out about how the superstar player of a team considers the GM.
I just heard though that Joe Dumars got the job as the like basketball operations of like the entire NBA, which is maybe you can kind of rig them rules for the Pistons going forward.
Coach to be so bad that he wants them fired or wants himself traded, that's a bad look for that GM. A GM who already looked horrible for signing DeAndre Jordan to a big contract just because his buddies want him to come, or trading away a great young piece in Jared Allen for a few months
And
rental
D'Lo.
of James Harden that ended in a fiasco.
Get rid of D'Lo,
Sean
stupid.
Marks is surrounded by bad press, so at the moment, only no news is good news for him. And that's what his buddy Woj tried to do. Last season, during the Harden trade rumors, Adrian again wanted to protect Sean Marks and insisted that there were no talks between Brooklyn and Philadelphia.
Now, there's been no, I'm told, real negotiation that's gone on. But listen, I think Philadelphia's motive, they are very motivated to acquire James Harden.
Brian Windhorst, on the other end, was adamant, claiming that the two teams are negotiating and even seemed to take a subtle jab at Woj.
Yeah, so the teams are absolutely engaged in trade discussions. I know that there's people saying things on the record, trying to act like that's not happening, but it is absolutely happening. There is definite motivation.
You know, it makes you wonder too, because obviously there is like something below the surface when it comes to Woj, and while he does have a lot of sources, maybe it gets to the point where he does like rub people the wrong way in certain regards, and they're not gonna like contact him and stuff, so he is misinformed. You know, I don't know.
From both sides to make this to fall into place.
Adrian kept saying and writing the same thing up until the very end, until the trade finally happened. He then went live on TV and said this.
At the very end of the negotiations today, and they really started in earnest this morning, you know, Philadelphia had lobbed calls a couple times.
Bro, it's okay to be wrong every once in a while.
From the Nets.
It's
they weren't
okay.
countering. They just accepted the offers. I was told pretty quick phone calls. But the conversation changed today as teams got closer to the trade deadline.
So let me get this straight.
Backtracking.
According to Woj, the negotiations and trade happened on the same day within a few hours. And Windhorst, who talked about it for like an entire week, just kind of had a lucky guess? I don't think so. But you see how the game is being played. You take care of your sources and they take care of you. That's how he made it all the way to be one of the franchise players on the biggest super team in the world, ESPN. His 5-year, $35 million contract, one of the biggest in the industry, proves just that. So if he's the superstar, it makes sense that he's got so much power that sometimes he calls out the plays and overrides the coaching staff. This is probably the reason why they didn't mention the Kevin Durant-Sean Marks ultimatum until it became a huge story and Joe Tsai himself tweeted about it. Woj knows that this strategy would bring them success in the long run. More scoops, more inside info, more stories, both for him and the network.
This video took a lot of effort and research, so hit that like button for the algorithm. That's it for now.
Yeah, guys, link to Heat Check's channel in the description below. But damn, like, this was a really good thought out video. Like, this really, I don't know, it really like awakens you to like certain aspects of just like the below the surface parts of like basketball and everything. And I don't know if I like the truth and the news being manipulated in a way because it's going to benefit somebody better down the road. Like, we just want to hear the stuff as it is, as it comes to surface and everything. That's all we got for this video. Great video by Heat Check. Link to his channel in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.